Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for the City of Final Fantasy Aranea. And I know this is another very late video because I'm probably going to be posting this after the next event is already out, but I figure it's better late than never. I'm going to be going into Aranea's Lost Chapter LUFENIA Plus, Commodore of the Skies, Part 14, level 250, and I am coming at it with a party of Bartz, Aranea and Tidus with a Yuna friend and an Ifrit summon. So for this one, I could use Sid Reigns and Aphmau, but that would be boring as hell. Where's the fun in that? But the team I'm using is arguably no less broken, so I'm just going to be doing some shenanigans that way. Okay, so the enemy's LUFENIA orb condition is that you have to, you either deal critical damage or ranged damage, and then it will increase the orb by +1, which counteracts the -1 you take from taking a turn. So the only way to actually increase the orb is to hit it with critical ranged attack, which in this party is basically going to be Aranea or Tidus's EX. But because I have Aranea purely around to stick on Vitalcrusher so that we'll start dealing some chunky bravery damage, then you know, she's just going to be sticking the enemies with that debuff so that we can crit them, and then she's probably going to be going away for Yuna and then not really sticking around for a very long time. So, Bartz is here as an Aura bot. I do have his BT plus green, so that means I can actually have 3 simultaneous burst effects, which is absolutely ridiculous. It turns out that Sid Reigns and Aphmau is not the only broken combo in the game. If you have a lot of burst weapons, the game is also extremely easy. So I'm just going to be taking it on this way. I'm going to be using Jack and Shantoto for the... Shantoto is here for the defense drop, because this enemy's defense is kind of ridiculous. And then we've got Jack, and then we've got Yuna here for the auras and the increased HP damage cap. I probably don't need to take Ifrit, if I am being honest. And maybe one thing I could do is no, I don't want to drop any of these call abilities. I could put Reigns on someone, but again, that would kind of defeat the object. And it looks like we don't have any attack increasing summons at level 40 yet. I guess Divine Ifrit is the next one. So yeah, I'm just going to be diving straight into this, and we're going to be taking it out. So I'll be perfectly honest, I don't really know too much about the enemy's mechanics because I kind of just like face rolled through them. But I do know that you need to let them both take a turn if you want to actually be able to deal damage in the long term. So I am going to be letting them both take turns here. And that first turn before the LUFENIA like auras kick in, you always end up dealing like obscene amounts of damage that way, it seems. So I'm just going to be sticking these things both with High Wind, and then we're going to be letting them take a turn, and then Aranea is probably going to go away not too long after that. Let's see here. So I do not want to use Absolute Zero with Bartz until his next turn. I'm just going to be using like one of those, and we'll go in. I'll not go in with the burst just yet. I'll go in with a missile. So let's let the enemy take a turn here. That is a lot of bravery damage, and we let A take a turn. Okay, they've both taken turns, which is absolutely fantastic. So they get this superior shield, which I think that is what prevents them from. I think it prevents them from getting broken. Actually, that's rather interesting, isn't it? I think the last time I played this, it didn't use Phalanx, so that's a slight problem, but it's nothing that we can't deal with. So I'm going to get on the Salvation Scythe to drop their defense, and Tidus Burst is going to be right at the end over here. Oh no, it can still get broken. That's good. We love to see that. Right, so let's use Jack LD, which I should have used to begin with, and of course that is an instant break here. You want to see it. Now, we probably won't get very much bravery battery by doing this. By doing a cheer, will we? Because of LUFENIA Plus. No, we still get some. We still get some. Okay, so let's go in. With one of these. deal absolutely no damage whatsoever. You'd love to see it. She's mostly here for the auras rather than her own personal damage output, but I'm not going to lie, seeing that kind of pathetic damage output is a little bit painful. And 3 over here really needs some attention. And we're already starting to deal lots of damage, which I absolutely love to see. And we're only just going to compound that and make it even better, or worse, depending on your perspective. So let's bring out Kurosame, get up the 5 stacks of Hyoro. Well, 4 stacks apparently. Not 4, and no, it is on maximum stacks. And then because we have a BT+, we could just press the big shiny green button and proc the burst phase without using up his actual burst phase, which is just absolutely silly in my opinion. And this is one of those things that I think is like really centralizing for burst characters in this game when you take them to burst plus, because you can have your entire team on burst auras, which is it's just silly. It is all sorts of silliness. It's completely over the top and unnecessary, if you ask me. Now, I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to use Tidus's burst just yet. We're actually going to do this because I knew that we could do that to break them and have them like delay for a turn. Because what I actually want to do is I want to get up Yuna's LD because we've got up her burst, we've not got up her LD. So we'll do this for even more buffage. We'll get up Simple Mastery with Bartz by using Double Hand, which will take his burst buff up to level 2. Unfortunately, he will not be at 3. You know what? Yeah, let's do it this way. Will Tidus jump up if we do that? Yes, he will. What about if we use like a regular HP attack ++? Yeah, he slides up after Bartz, which is actually perfect. That's what we want. So I'm just going to do this. And what's Bartz's buff that's about to run out? World Traveller. That's from his EX, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So let's use his EX. And now we're at 3 stacks of Bartz's burst, which is absolutely perfect, and it's what we need for Tidus. So let's freaking go.
Ready, go!
So we've got all of the aura bots operating on maximum capacity at the moment, and as you might well have guessed, the name of the game here is to pretty much just have Tidus monopolize all of the turns, so the auras don't run out. Like, Yuna's got 1 more turn. As long as Tidus can take another turn before Yuna does, then we should probably just be able to, like, if not kill them outright, then at the very least get them very freaking close. And I absolutely love that this the Bartz burst buff will increase give you like a fat battery based on HP damage dealt, because it means that this burst finisher is just about to pop off, like with the first hit. Let's look at this nonsense. 200k on the first hit. Jesus. There we go. Let's see what sort of numbers we're looking at here. 4 million for a non-plus burst is pretty impressive. And we have a 361k battery in Lufi Plus. And I can use Energy Nova without giving Tidus, like without having Yuna steal a turn rather, which is even better. So this is just all kinds of excellent at the moment. There we go. And this is the point in time at which they're just not going to get turns, like, ever again. They don't get to play the game. That's not what we're doing here. So I'm just going to spam quick hits until his winning spirit buff is about to run out, and then I'm going to use like his additional ability. Then I'm going to pop his LD and get lots of free skills and do it again, and I pretty much don't really need to say what's going to happen again at this point. So I just want to point out that this is a LUFENIA Plus, where the enemies are supposed to have ridiculous defenses, and we are dealing capped damage almost to them without really much of a problem. So yeah, bursts are insane, and Bartz specifically is insane, because it's his level 3 burst buff that's giving us these fat batteries after every time we dump our HP attacks. So yeah, I mean, Sid Reigns is incredibly broken. This, you know, I'm pretty sure you can't really argue with that, but he's definitely not the only broken option available. That's really it. Like, Aranea helps here as well for the Vitalcrusher, just giving you guaranteed crits. I don't even know if she's necessary, I just kind of wanted to use her because it's her lost chapter, you know? So yeah, there's going to be a lot of shooter happening, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, everyone said a lot of things about LUFENIA Plus. Like, they said how difficult it's going to be, and like how toxic it is, or whatever, or like it's like what is it? It's like early chaos. It is absolutely not like early chaos. I feel like people have like faulty memories and they don't realise how restrictive that was. I mean, you can argue, you know, that we're using a variation of the same characters, but look at this. It's Lufi Plus, and the bosses are completely locked down. They can't do anything. Yeah, we have top of the line stuff, but like at the time, I remember like, for me, one of the most difficult quests was Lena's EX quest, because I didn't pull for Lena's 35 CP. Of course, it was global exclusive content, because JB didn't have EX quests at that time, and they basically fucked up because they took like the Lost Chapter bosses, I think, or like the event bosses, and they just toned down the numbers a little bit, but not enough, so we kind of needed to pull the banner or be extremely insanely good at the game, and lucky, and counting the number of turns so you knew like when to launch, etc, etc. You know, it was silly, it was overtuned as fuck. Whereas at least being done this way, if you have the top of the line weapons, like if you have green bursts and you have blue armors from previous banners, then there's lots of degenerate broken shenanigans you can do, especially with all of these LD call abilities, you know? And you don't really end up in a position where you're not able to clear something just because you haven't pulled for that event. I mean, yeah, I used Aranea, but to be honest, you could do this with Aranea's 35 CP. You could get it from the freaking power token shop. And because literally all that she's there for is the debuff, you know? So it's really not a big problem, in my opinion. Anyway, these bosses are surprisingly resilient. They're not dead yet, and they are definitely taking less than cap damage, bravery-wise, at the moment, but because we've got a Yuna and we've got a Kurosame, it doesn't really matter. I'm not using Zidane. Like, I don't like Zidane's Burst Plus kit as much as I thought I would. Like, he'd probably be pretty good with a Bartz backup, and especially if I green his Burst, like, he's going to be very, very usable. But I don't know. I'm not feeling the Zidane love from devs. I'm not feeling it, unfortunately. Like, he is probably really good at deleting turns, and there's probably going to be some quests that I'm going to be really grateful that I've got him in my back pocket for. But like, he's not really a default option. You feel me? You know. Anyway. It's about time to wrap things up here. I'll just use my Tidus EX, which I could have done during the summon. I didn't even need to use the summon. And yeah, we're done. There we go. That's Aranea's LUFENIA Plus. It didn't really get to do anything. And I didn't use Reigns. Although I did use Green Bartz, which is like, you know, he's pretty fucking amazing as well. So that is going to be my clear of Aranea's Lost Chapter. Sorry, I know the videos are very late this time, but what can I say? I've been busy. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, take care and goodbye.